This video is for students in Mr. Camacho's social studies classes for the 2015-2016 school year. This video will focus on Unit 1, Learning Target 5. This learning target is interpret various kinds of thematic maps, which is entirely what Chapter 2 was all about. And the book showed us a lot of wonderful images regarding these thematic maps. This particular learning target has been one of the most challenging ones for students in the past, mostly because it's all the skill, practical use things of practicing reading each of these thematic maps. And some things you're going to have to know that concerns me as a teacher is really the language. So when I ask for what's the most common type of something, I'm asking for what is there the most of. And I might do that on any of the thematic maps, whether it's climate zone. I might ask you what's the most common climate in North America, or I might ask you what is the most common type of vegetation in South America. You're going to get the resources of the maps to look at on this. The big thing here is going over the skill of doing this. You're going to have to practice looking at the key, and it's real simple when you ask questions like that. Say, what color do you see the most? And then go down to the key and find out which one's there. A lot of times 6th grade students don't know the vocabulary of most common or most prominent. It means the same thing. It's whichever one you see the most. Another one might be least common or least prominent, and that's whatever you see the least amount or not as much. Whatever color is not there, or very the lesser of all of them. That would be the case there. That would be the case on any of the thematic maps. Might ask you where the most populated areas are, and there's 2 ways to measure that on the population density map. You've got dots that measure the size of cities, and the smaller the dot, the smaller the city, and you'll see that in the key. And then of course the darker the color, purple means really a lot of people, then it goes to red, and then orange, and then yellow. And so if I'm asking for something like what's the least populated region, you're going to look for something yellow. If I ask for something that's most populated region, you're going to look for a purple place. But again, using your key is huge. You might get something like which best describes what you are most likely to see at an absolute location. So you might have to interpret a physical features map and see, is there a lot of change of color? If there's a lot of change in color, then you're probably going to have a high altitude. What landforms or what physical features have high altitudes? Mountains do. What's likely to see if there's all one color and it's green maybe, and there's no other colors around it, but there's a big area of green? Well, that says there's not a lot of change in elevation, so that's likely to be a flat piece of land. Well, what land forms a flat piece of land? That would be a plain. So you might have to interpret a physical features map in that manner. You also might be asked a question like, which type of thematic map would I use to find trade and manufacturing? So the best way to find the answer to that is if you're given a bunch of resources of maps, which you will, you're going to have to go through all the maps. Use your map key. If trade and manufacturing it's not going to be in all the map keys. It's going to only be in the map key of the thematic map that is the answer. So that's a secret on how to get to that. A lot of times students get confused when they're asked a land use question. And so it'll be, how is the land used here? Well, they get real confused. Well, what map shows land use? And you might recall, an economic activity map shows 2 things. It shows land use and resources. So, and be able to decipher between the 2, because I might ask you a question about, I might even tell you, hey, use the economic activities map. Tell me which type of land use is most common. Don't answer a resource. Make sure you're answering the question that's being asked. So, if you can do all of these things, practicing thematic maps, and reading them, then you have that skill and you're going to be in good shape. So good luck on the test on Wednesday.